Hi guys, it's Shaniqua Nicole here, back with another video. So in today's video, I attempted to do this glitter cut crease. It was fun, but it was very challenging for me to do. I did see some mistakes along the way, so I will try my best to do better next time. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so and hit that notification bell as well. So if you're interested in how I got this look, then keep on watching. So for starters, I'm using the Plan in Makeup by Yolondo palette, and this is the Jamrock palette. And in this palette, I'm using the color Loud, and I'm putting that directly in my crease area. That's where I'm focused more on, so I can blend that in. And I'm going to feather this color out towards the edge of my eyebrow because I want this to be a rather long cut crease look. So I'm just going to pack as much color into this area until I have it to where I am happy with it. Now in the same palette, I'm using the color Goodas, and I'm focusing that more to blend out the edges in the crease color. And I'm also going to use this as a transition color just to make sure I can soften up the edges and make this look as seamless as possible. Here I'm just going back in with the first color because I lost a little bit of that color when I was blending the transition color, so I just went back in just to try to darken it up again. Now in my Juvia's Place palette, I'm using the color Bintou. I hope that's how you pronounce it. If not, all of the information will be in the description box below. But I'm using that darker chocolate-ish color to deepen the cut crease just a little bit more. And I'm going to just make sure I keep that in the crease area. So I'm using a smaller, more dense brush to make sure I have more control over that color. Okay, so time to cut the crease. I'm using the Louise base in Rumour 4 to cut the crease. So I'm just trying to make sure that this eye is more uniform with the other eye. So I'm taking my time to make sure that I try to do this as neat as possible, because I know in the first video that I did, my soft glam video, that it wasn't a cut crease, so I just placed the base to where I wanted it to go. But here, you know, you want to make this neat and you want to take your time to make sure that it is straight and it doesn't have any messed up lines in it. So take your time and try to focus on how you want your shape to be so your cut crease can be close to perfect. So now after the struggle of trying to get my cut crease together, I'm now applying lash glue to my lid. So I'm going to use Loose Glitter by Sin Cosmetics and pack that everywhere that I applied the lash glue. Usually I'll use Duo Lash Glue, but I didn't have any more. So I'm using Lily Lash Glue, and I'm applying that all over the lid. I think that you don't necessarily have to use lash glue with this glitter, but I find it more easier for me to do so, and I get more of a color payoff and more glitter packed on once I do it this way. So back in that same Juvia's Place palette that I was using, I'm using the shade Coffee to extend out my glitter cut crease. It's a more shimmery color and it complements the glitter that I was using. So I'm just using that to blend in and fade off into the cut crease. So on my right eye, what I did first was apply the chunky glitter first, and then I went on to trying to do my liner, and that was a no-go for me. It did not work. The liner did not come out right. It was just a complete mess. So what I decided to do was do the liner first on this eye and then do the chunky glitter. And that was much easier. It was a much smoother application for me. So that was another mistake that I tried to fix. But, you know, hey, practice makes perfect. So I'm learning as I go along. But this was so much better for me to do. Now to apply my chunky glitter, I'm using the same lash glue that I used before. And I don't want to apply too much glitter. I just wanted to set off the gold even more, just a little bit. So I'm just going to do a little bit of chunky glitter. And the glitter is from Mermaid Scales. And I'm just going to apply that on just a little, just to make sure that I can get the pop that I want. Now on to face prep. I'm removing the excess eye primer that I no longer need. So I'm using a makeup remover to do that, and also to remove some of the glitter that may have fallen out as well. And after I prime my face, I am going to use the Juvia's Place foundation in Malawi all over my face and on my neck as well to pat in so I can try to get a flawless application. Now to highlight, I'm using the Juvia's Place concealer. I'm not sure which number that is, so I'm going to make sure that it is down in the description box below. But I'm going to use that under my eyes, on my forehead, on my chin, and also down the bridge of my nose. And to contour, I am using the Maybelline foundation stick as well. Description of it will be down below. And then I'm going to blend out my my highlight with a wet sponge by Real Technique. And I am going to blend that in. And then I am going to set it with my Juvia's Place setting powder. And I'm also going to blend in my contour. So here I wanted to use the contour brush that I usually have. It's a smaller, more slanted brush, but I couldn't find it. So I'm using a blending brush to blend out the contour on my nose, and it worked fine for me. So that worked out. Now to chisel my contour, I'm taking that same setting powder from Juvia's place, and I'm going to place that underneath my contour and let it sit for a while. And then when I'm ready to remove it with the brush, as I'm brushing it away, I'm also going to pack some of that into my foundation so it can set the foundation as well, but also buff most of it away, if that makes sense. My smile lines be coming out of the woodwork. So to eliminate a lot of that from happening, what I did was I applied some of my medium deep setting powder from Anastasia Beverly Hills to set around my mouth so my frown lines can go away. And here, like I said before, I was just buffing away a lot of that setting powder, but also make sure that I'm able to press that in so it can also set my foundation while it also chiseled out my contour. To apply my gel liner from NYX, I am just going to use a slanted brush, and I'm going to put that in the waterline before I move on to the next step. Now to set my face, I'm using the Urban Decay all-nighter setting spray, and I'm just going to spray that all over my face and let it dry a little. And then I'm going to go with my loose glitter from ColourPop, and I don't know why I did, because I ended up changing it eventually, and I got the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlight in bronze. So that's what I ended up using because I really wasn't feeling the highlight from ColourPop. Also, what I forgot to mention was, unfortunately, I did delete the footage of me setting my contour. I used the bronzer in Mahogany from the Anastasia Beverly Hills kit, so I did that before I applied my setting spray. So I just wanted to point that out, that I bronzed before I applied my setting spray. Now I'm going in with that last color that I used out of the Juvia's Place palette, and I'm just going to smudge that in underneath my lash line, my lower lash line, and underneath my gel liner, just to make it or give it a more smoky effect. And I'm just applying a little of that. Now to finish off the look, I'm just using some brown liner, and I'm also using some lip gloss from NYX, and this is the final look. Thank you so much for rocking with me throughout this entire video. Please, once again, make sure that you are subscribed and hit that notification bell for future uploads. And as always, thanks for watching.